This is a photograph of my neighbourhood. Now what's wrong with this picture? Look carefully. Can you see it yet? It's this. And it's this. And this. And this. And on it goes. These things are everywhere, nailed to telegraph poles within about maybe a 2-mile radius of where I live. They turned up a couple of months ago, and I can't go anywhere locally without seeing them. I get that sort of sick feeling in the pit of my stomach every time I do. It's the work probably of one overzealous Christian or a small group of them, maybe working under the guidance of a local church. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not offended one bit by religious symbols and messages displayed within the grounds of a local church. After all, that's their property. But I am offended by this presumptuousness, by people who think they have the right to deface council property just because there's this vague sense that this is or was, at some point in the past, a Christian country. So let's ask the question, who put up these telegraph poles? The government, of course, the secular government. And who provided the funds for them to be put up? Well, certainly not churches. Churches pay no taxes. So it was ordinary taxpayers like me who paid for them. So of all people, those operating under the banner of the church have the least right to install offensive and hurtful propaganda on council property. Look at this photo. You can see the nails left behind where someone has ripped the sign down. And then you can see that the Christian has returned, this time with a ladder, to install a new sign higher up where nobody can reach it. So obviously they want these things to be a permanent fixture of the neighbourhood. I don't see how this is any different from all the paramilitary graffiti that we used to see everywhere back in the time of the Troubles. Think about it. So I would like to invite the person or persons responsible to step into the light and reveal your identities, so that I can know who to sue for defacement of council property. Unless you deliberately put these up in the early hours of the morning so that no one would be able to catch you in the act. That's not very Christian, is it? Not to mention the mental anguish that this causes to certain individuals. So I invite the public to support the newly formed organisation Vampires Against Gratuitously Installed Numinous Artifacts. So Christians, stop discriminating against the undead who live among us. They're people too.